Hey guys, it's you gots to be coming back. That bat just died. Aww. Moving on. This is episode 4 of our Beginner's Guide to Minecraft series. In the last episode, I showed you guys how to get your farms and mines started. And today I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to get prepared for the Nether. Because in this update, the Nether has been changed, and that's the thing we are all looking forward to. So, let's get to it. I hope all of you guys were able to get a lot of mining done between this episode and the last. I'm just gonna... actually I need to deal with this creeper. So one thing I didn't actually realize is axes do more damage than swords. The attack speed is slower, but when it comes to dealing with creepers and whatnot, it's a 3-hit instead of a 4-hit. And I run away between shots anyway, so the attack speed really doesn't matter. So keep that in mind if you ever want to kill a creeper. Using the axe for a little bit slower speed might be definitely worth it. Alright, but besides that, I hope you guys have gotten a lot of mining done. I hope you have been able to find as many diamonds, if not more diamonds than me. I got really lucky. I ran into a couple caves and there were a lot of diamonds on the surface in those caves, so very, very happy about that. I also got a lot of iron and a lot of gold. So when we are starting to head to the Nether, we are going to need some better gear than what we have, because right now we still don't have any gear. So the first tools I always like to make when I start getting a lot more iron is a bucket, which is just the 3 iron ingots in a V shape like this. I typically like to make 2 of them because it's just helpful to have 2 buckets of water. Then you can make an infinity pool and all that fun stuff. Now for diamonds, the first... oh man, I realized I don't have wood. The first tools I like to make when I have diamonds is definitely going to be the diamond sword and the diamond pickaxe, because without the diamond pickaxe we are not going to be able to get to the Nether, because this is what we need to gather obsidian. So I'm going to just make that sword real quick, and because the axes do more damage, I'm going to go ahead and make an axe as well. And that leaves us off with a whole lot more diamonds. So with the armor sets, you can either jump over here into your crafting table and just click on them, or you can follow along with what I'm going to do here. So the boots are super simple. All you do is the 2 columns of 2 high diamonds. The leggings are pretty self-explanatory. It's just a big upside down U. The helmet is like a small upside down U. And then the chest plate is all the spots except the top middle one. And there you go. Now you have a full set of armor. So let's go ahead and get that equipped. You can either click and drag it over to the little slots on the side, or you can hit shift and click and it will automatically get those set up. Alright, so now that we're all geared up, we can actually start heading towards getting the resources we need. As you can see, I have the equivalent of a full stack of food. Between this episode and the last one, I also did a lot of breeding for cows, because I was planning on adding an enchanting table in this episode, but unfortunately there's just so much information with that, and all the stuff I'm going to be sharing about the Nether, it just would be very, very long for an episode. So now that we have our water buckets, our diamond pick, sword, and axe, we can actually start getting that obsidian. So the way obsidian forms in Minecraft is when water of any type, whether it's a source block or flowing water, comes into contact with lava, it will create obsidian. So this is only if the lava is a source block. So if it's flowing, it creates cobblestone. If it's a source block, it creates obsidian. So just like that. Now we can mine this out with the diamond pickaxe, and unfortunately it takes a long time, so I'm glad you guys are patient. Oh no! Crap, I thought these things were only 1 deep. Okay, so lesson learned. Whenever you are mining obsidian, make sure that that bucket of water you have that you made the obsidian with is in a spot that it'll be able to flow into the spot that you just mined out. So right here, we're going to see a little flash of lava right underneath, and our items are still going to drop. So make sure you just put that water bucket down, let it flow over the water that you're going to, or not water, but over the spot you're going to be mining out, and you won't lose your stuff, and you won't fall into lava unexpectedly and die. So what we're going to need for obsidian is going to be, for a full nether portal, 14, but there's the budget nether portal which only requires 10. But I would go ahead and recommend getting at least 14 to start off with, and you can use that extra obsidian later on. There we go. Alright. So now that we have the 14 obsidian, I'm just going to leave... Oh, jeez. I didn't pick that one up. Now that we have 15 obsidian, I'm going to decide where I want this nether portal. So I want to have it near the base because I always want to keep it nearby. It's a little bit dangerous to have it near a base because stuff can come through, and hopefully it's not like hostile or anything. So for the budget version of the obsidian, or not obsidian, the nether portals, what you do is you dig yourself a little 2 wide trench like this, fill it with obsidian, come here to the side, pillar 3 up, and do that on this side as well. And then you'll take a temporary block. I always recommend dirt because dirt's easy to break and you have a ton of it. And then you just bridge across like that, leaving the corners out, and there you go. Now you have yourself a working nether portal. So let's head on to the nether. Ha, just kidding. We actually need one more piece of equipment, but because it's dark, I'm gonna go ahead and sleep. Alright, well, now that it's morning again, the next piece of equipment that we are going to need is a flint and steel. So the way you get flint, if you haven't already realized from all your mining experience, is you get it from gravel. So the easiest way to mine out flint is by adding gravel to your offhand by either hitting the hotkey on the keyboard. I always change all my key bindings, so I don't quite remember what it is default. Or you can just come into your inventory and set it right there in that little shield icon. So now with this, whenever you right click, it's going to place that block. So if you come into a little spot like this, walk as close as you can, hold right click and go to your shovel and start breaking out these gravel, you can see after a little bit you will obtain some flint. If you're going for a lot of flint, this is going to take a really long time, but all we need is one for the flint and steel. So once you get that, you'll come into your crafting table, or not even crafting table, just open up your menu, and you can craft yourself a flint and steel by just having the two in any pattern right next to each other in this menu. So once you get that, now we have the tool to, for one, burn down the world if we want. Or, okay. I got nervous for a second. I kept hearing the fire after it was gone, and I thought I caught my house on fire, which would not have been fun. So now that you have your flint and steel, you can come right click on the inside of the portal, and there you go. Now it is open and working. So before we head into the nether, we need to sport ourselves a pair of golden boots. So the reason why I suggest the golden boots is because they only have +1 armor. So if they break, you're losing the least amount of total armor for whatever reason. So if you have the iron, or not the iron chest plate, the gold chest plate, it's +5 armor. If that breaks, then you're out 5 armor. So at least with the boots or the helmet, you're only out 1 or 2. I didn't mean to make the helmet earlier, but it is what it is. Now, one last thing before we... Whoop, I need that. Before we head into the Nether is make sure you have plenty of building blocks. Preferably blocks that won't catch on fire, because there is a lot of fire in the Nether. So keep that in mind. Also, always store all of your valuables back here in the overworld, because we don't want to... Yeah, we just don't want to lose those. So keep the flint and steel with you. Keep plenty of food with you. I like to keep between a half stack and a stack. And just keep your good tools. I would always recommend keeping this at least one sword with you, a couple different pickaxes, a couple different axes, and yeah, everything else can just stay here. If you want to keep, yeah, whatever you want to keep while you're in there, go ahead and keep. But for now, yeah, I think, well, actually, always bring some wood just in case you need to make a crafting table and sticks. But yeah, I think once we put this armor on, we are ready to head to the Nether. Now I'm going to leave my helmet here as well, just so I don't lose that. Get that out of there. And yeah. So once we head into the Nether, a couple things you should know. The zombie piglins will not be aggressive even if you aren't wearing the golden armor, but if you hit one of them, for any reason, even if it's just you accidentally left click instead of right click while you're eating a piece of bread and you smack one, all the zombie piglins in the area will become aggressive. Another thing, a new mob called a hoglin is a gigantic warthog, which is very intimidating, but as long as you can quickly remember to pillar up 3 high, they can't hit you, and then you can kill them, get the food, and hopefully live to see another day. Now let's go ahead and jump on in there, and I'm going to give you a tour of the entire Nether. Now before we actually get to the Nether, this episode is getting pretty long already. I showed you how to get geared up in preparation, how to make the Nether portal, where to find obsidian, and all that fun stuff. And that took a little bit longer than I anticipated, to be perfectly honest. So this is going to be a part 1, part 2 episode, and I'm going to be posting the very next episode as quickly as I can, giving you guys a full tour of the Nether and what you can expect inside. So until then, I'm Ye Gots to Be, and I gots to go.